I have been doing a series all about being encouraged in any situation. And so this is Kareem Canston, the encourager, and I'm here to motivate you and to inspire you and encourage you in any situation. And so today I just want to say hello everyone. How you doing? I know all over the East Coast, all the way from the New England down to Georgia, it's been snowing and the storm is brewing. And but let me tell you something: be safe. If you don't have to travel outside, stay inside because it is snowing a lot and the storm is brewing. Hey, cuz, thanks for coming on, Denise. And so listen, be safe. All of the first responders we want to pray for. There's many people that have to work, police officers, firemen, people that work at the hospital, people that work at 24-hour nursing homes and healthcare facilities. So we want to pray for them all those that are plowing and putting salt down and taking care of our roads. We want to keep them in prayer and make sure that they stay safe. So listen, my name is Kareem Canston, the encourager. My name is Kareem Canston, the encourager. And the reason why I say it so many times is that I want to encourage you today. I want to motivate you. I want to inspire you in any situation. I've been doing a series all about being encouraged in any situation. And every time that I come on and I talk to you all, I talk about a topic. But before I get into my topic tonight, I really want to focus on saying a prayer for all of those who have lost their lives or have been impacted by the shooting that happened in Fort Lauderdale's airport. And so we really need to keep those people in prayer and encourage folks and let people know that, listen, even though that someone lost their mind and hurt people, that, really there's still a God that operates here on the earth and operates here on the heaven. And so listen, I just want to encourage you all, say a prayer for those people. Also, they're talking about that this person had some mental illness. He was a veteran. I'm a veteran. I haven't been to a war like Iraq or anything like that. But listen, it really takes a toll on people's minds, on people's mental state. And so we need to keep people in prayer that have mental illness. Listen, I am going to be talking in the future about me growing up around people in my family that struggle with mental illness and how really I got over and I was blessed and I was encouraged to move past certain things that I saw and I witnessed in my life. And so listen, if I could be encouraged, you can be encouraged. Listen, I know that it might not be looking good for you in certain situations, but let me tell you something, that you must be motivated and be encouraged that things are going to get better. And the only way they're going to get better if you start taking some action. All right. If you really start taking some action. Listen, I've been talking about many topics about being encouraged. I've been talking about mission. I've been talking about business. I've talked about your purpose and really why you should have a purpose in life. I've also talked about crisis and how you have to be encouraged in crisis. And so I mean, I've been talking to so many people over the last couple of weeks, and they've been calling me, texting me, and saying, "Kareem, listen, I'm going through some stuff." And so, listen, by just listening to their stories, and also thinking about the stories that I've been going through, I have to feel that, listen, it's gonna get better. It really is gonna get better. Listen, if you think it's gonna get better, just give me a thumbs up, give me a love heart or something. All right. And so, listen. Being encouraged, sometimes it doesn't feel like you're being encouraged. Being encouraged sometimes feels like you're not even being encouraged. And you're probably like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Listen, I need to be encouraged every single second, every single minute, every single hour of the day. Let me tell you something. I encourage myself every day. When I wake up, I'm saying, thank you very much for this day, Lord. And listen, I'm going to make sure this day is the greatest day of my life. All right. So listen, the topics I've been talking about have been in a broad spectrum. The last topic I talked about the restart. Listen, you need to check it out. It's about the restart and really restarting your life, restarting the new year, restarting your vision, restarting your dreams, and really talking about how that something that might have died, you need to restart that thing. If it needs to be a business, is it education? Do you need to go back to school? Do you need to finish school? Do you need to restart a relationship that went bad? I'm not talking about, you need to go and talk to people, but I'm talking about, a relationship. Maybe you had a friend that, what I'm saying, you had a falling out, but really, you need to restart that relationship again because it was very beneficial for you. All right. And so listen, let me tell you something. I am Kareem Canston, the encourager. And tonight's topic is really a topic that I've been laboring on for a while. I've been really thinking about, should I even share about this? But listening to people over the last couple of days and seeing trials and tribulations that people have been going through, it's a topic that I really want to share with you about. And so this topic is all about the art of failing. This topic is about the art of failing. And so you're probably saying to yourself, wow, why would somebody that encourages people talk about failing? The reason why I want to talk about failing, because it is personal to me, but also I want to talk about failing because you need to be encouraged to understand that just because you failed doesn't make it your life to be worth nothing. You are worth something. You are a gem. You are royalty. All right. You are gold. All right. And so you need to understand just because you failed, maybe you didn't even fail. Sometimes somebody else's failure puts a lot of pressure on you. All right. And maybe you're taking the burden for somebody else's failure. And so today I want to share with you 3 points about the art of failure. All right. There is so many times that, even myself, that I say, listen, man, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I missed that piece. I can't believe I messed up this. I can't believe that this didn't go right, or this situation didn't turn out right. And so, it's been on my heart to share about failing. When we hear that word, we always say that, man, it is real messed up. I can't believe I did this. I can't believe I went through this. But today I really want to encourage you that you must deal with your failure. You must deal with your failure. And I want to read a couple of quotes by some people before I give you my points. Thomas Edison says, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Thomas Edison said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that don't work. Winston Churchill says, success is the ability to go from failure to failure without losing your enthusiasm. Winston Churchill said, success is the ability to go from failure to failure without losing your enthusiasm. Henry Ford, the great Ford maker, I just found out that he invested also in airplanes, just not cars. He says, failure is the only opportunity to begin again. Only this time more wisely. Henry Ford says, failure is the only opportunity to begin again. Only this time more wisely. And then Malcolm Forbes says, failure is success if we learn from it. Malcolm Forbes says, failure is success if we learn from it. So listen, today we're talking about being encouraged in failure. Being encouraged in failure. And so point number 1 is that you must acknowledge your failure. Somebody needs to just give me a thumbs up or some hearts for that. You must acknowledge your failure. Now, sometimes we don't want to take responsibility for our failure because it hurts us. How many people want to say that, listen, I blew $1 million, or I messed up on that investment, or I said something to somebody and it was the wrong thing to say to them? How many people want to take responsibility for their failure? What was the last time you took responsibility for something that you messed up? I mean, you don't have to put that in the comment section, but We have to be honest with each other. All right. It is very, very hard to say to somebody, listen, I missed it. I missed it. Usually we hear, oh, the reason why, this happened was because this person did this. The reason why, that investment went bad because somebody gave me a bad tip. Or the reason why my business failed because, the Department of Transportation actually tore up my street and people couldn't get to my business, right? But we want to put failure on somebody else, but we don't want to acknowledge. And that's really point number one. You need to acknowledge the failure. You might just need to write that down right now. I acknowledge I failed in this area. ... You need to fill it in for yourself. All right. Sometimes your failure needs to be told to somebody else because they might have insight about it. Now, I'm not saying tell the world, don't put it on Facebook about your failure, right? But you need to have confidence in somebody that you could tell them. All right. Not easy through failure. Listen, let me give you a personal, I won't give you the details of the story, but the last 2 years, I have been through some failures. All right. They weren't pretty. They weren't great. They were hard to go through. I was boo-hooing, crying. Listen, let's be honest. If you go through a failure and it's really, really hard, listen, you might be crying also. So don't be saying anything. Failure, it is not easy to go through it. Have you messed up before? Have you been faulted for something you didn't do? Right? But listen, over the last 2 years, I went through some failure in my life. Listen, I did not even want to admit that I failed. Wow. That's hard, isn't it? Sometimes we don't even want to admit that we even failed to ourselves. It took me a long time to admit that, right? It took me months upon months upon months to even acknowledge that I even failed in a certain area. But let me tell you, when I acknowledged that, I got free from my failure. All right? I got free from my failure because until I couldn't acknowledge it, I was going through it. But then I acknowledged it. Then I said, listen, I could be free from this thing. So listen, that's not one of my points, but you might want to add that as point number whatever. But listen, when you acknowledge your failure, you become free from that failure, right? When you acknowledge failure, you become free from that failure. So point number one is that you need to acknowledge your failure. Listen, you need to just write it down. Listen, I failed in this area, right? Just take one of them, because if you take 5, 10, it might be too much for us, all right? So just write down, listen, I failed in this area. Point number two is don't give up. Point number two is don't give up. Listen, I know it might be hard. I know the issue that you're going through, or the decision that you made is hard right now. And yes, there's judgment that is coming on you, that you're going through, that you missed the mark on something, but don't give up. Listen, I've been burning out a topic by Bishop T.D. Jakes, and the topic he talked about and he preached on was about don't lose your head. Don't lose your head. And so he talks about how the enemy comes, or that failure comes, or that issue comes to actually cut off your head. All right? Not physically, but literally, but to really take your mind and to mess your mind up. Don't give up. Listen, yes, it might be hard. Yes, it might be, it might not be the best situation, and now you have to go through it. Yes, you might have, blew up your credit. Yes, you might have lost the house. Yes, you might have lost the car. Yes, you might have lost that investment. But that doesn't mean that you give up on yourself. Listen, I am here to encourage you. My name is Kareem Canson. I am the encourager. And I'm here to encourage you that even though that you've gone through that failure, that you don't give up on yourself. Listen, if there's breath in your body, if you're watching this video, if you're listening to this thing, there's breath in your body because there's a purpose and a destiny that you have to serve. Listen, don't give up. Thanks for those hearts. Listen, thank you for those hearts still. Listen, if you like this, listen, don't give up on yourself. All right. Also, I just want to give you a couple of people that didn't give up. Martin Luther King Jr., the great civil rights leader, he did not give up, right? He was put in jail many, many, many of times, all right? But he did not give up. He knew that, listen, there was an end to people being brutalized, people's civil rights being taken away, people not being paid enough, working on a job. And so he knew that even though that he got arrested many of times, that, listen, he couldn't give up. And he shouldn't give up. And he never gave up. To this day, his impact is huge. Also, Mother Teresa, a woman that broke down the barriers about representing hurting and people that were less fortunate in this world. She didn't give up. She said, listen, if I could just touch one more person, I'm going to keep on talking about how this world treats people that we think are less fortunate. So listen, don't give up. I know that you've been through that failure. I know that you acknowledge the failure, but don't give up. That's point number 2. All right. There's also a great person in the Bible called King David, right? He beat Goliath. He took his head off. But guess what? After that, his sons actually tried to kill him. All right. They actually ran him off. But he didn't give up, and he retook the throne back from his son. So don't give up. People, please don't give up. Point number 3 is that you must learn failure. You must learn from your failure. All right? You should learn from your failure and understand that your failure is an opportunity. When you learn from your failure is an opportunity. I mean, I recently, sat in a big auditorium listening to a college president. And you know what he said? He said that my university is all about teaching students, college students, to fail. And you're probably like, what? That doesn't make any sense. I came to college to get knowledge, to get a degree, to make some money after I graduate here. But he said, listen, if my students do not fail, they haven't learned. All right. This is from a college president. So listen, he's teaching students that, listen, sometimes you're going to miss the mark. I don't know about you, but there's a sport called baseball. And usually the best batters, they bat good 30-something% of the time. All right. They're not batting 80% of the time, 90% of the time. And so they have to get up to the plate and try to hit the ball, make a home run, get on base. But 30-something% of the time is that they actually hit the ball. So just think about that. You're beating yourself out because you failed one time on something. You're beating yourself about that you failed twice or 3 times or 4 times. But truly, you probably need to fail more. There's a guy named Robert Kiyosaki. He wrote a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. And he says, listen, if you haven't failed at least 10 times on something, you haven't learned. All right? Robert Kiyosaki, the guy that wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad, he invests in real estate, invests in many things. And he said, listen, you need to probably fail 10 times before you even make sure that you understand and master something. All right? So that means that he talks about, you need to look at 100 properties in order to buy 1 or to buy 2 or buy 3. So that means that you have to be looking at more opportunities to learn. All right? You need to be looking at more opportunities to learn. So listen, I have a question for you. I really do have a question for you. If you failed, what is holding you back? Put that in the comment section. If you fail, what is holding you back? All right? Point number 1 was, you need to acknowledge the failure. Point number 2 was that You don't give up just because you failed. And point number three is that you need to learn from your failure because there's an opportunity for you. Listen, I don't know about you, but being encouraged in failure probably doesn't feel good, but you need to be encouraged. I want to give everyone that has watched this video an opportunity to get a free book. It was written by my mother-in-law, Carlene Pierce. It's called "Encourage Yourself in the Lord." All right, and I want to give you a free copy of this book. You just have to in the link. There should be a link down there in the comment section or on the video. And I want you to actually go to this link and fill out this form, and you will get a free copy to this book that you could download. All right, it's a book that was my mother-in-law Carlene Pierce, and let me tell you something. It's going to impact your life. I'm just telling you, it's going to impact your life. I'm also posting in the comment section the link for it. For those that are watching me on other mediums, the link should be there also. Listen, free copy of this book called "Encourage Yourself in the Lord" by my mother-in-law, Carlene Pierce. Also, when you fill out the form, you also will receive a discount of my book, "Walk Through the Doors That God Has Opened for You." It's a 365-day daily devotional. Listen, if you failed, don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. I'm telling you, do not give up. Listen, connect with somebody. Connect with me. Send me an inbox, all right? Send me a message or something, and let me encourage you, all right? By me encouraging people, I encourage myself also, all right? So listen, once again, we're giving away a free book called "Encourage Yourself in the Lord" by Carlene Pierce, my mother-in-law. All right, listen. There's a link down there, probably in the comment section, also in the section that was posted with the title of the video. Fill out that link. You'll get a link for this free book, and also you'll get a discount for my devotional book, "Walk Through the Doors That God Has Opened for You," a 365-day daily devotional. Listen, I also want to give you some more quotes here about other people that talked about failure. Colin Powell, great veteran, great statesman. Colin Powell said, "There is no secret to success. It is the result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure." Colin Powell says, "There's no secret to success. It is the result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure." Bill Gates said, "It is fine to celebrate success, but it is more important to heed the lessons of failure." Bill Gates said, "It is fine to celebrate success, but it is more important to heed the lessons of failure." And Napoleon Hill said, "Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of a greater or equal benefit." Napoleon Hill says, "Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of a greater or equal benefit." Listen, just because you fail doesn't mean that it's over. All right? You need to be encouraged today. You need to be motivated today that just because you failed is not over. All right? The points that I shared today hopefully have impact you. Listen, send me in my inbox, send me in my messages any topics that you want me to cover. Once again, this was all about being encouraged in failure. And point number one was to acknowledge your failure. Point number two was don't give up. And point number three was to learn from your failure and really truly make it an opportunity. This is Kareem Canston, the Encourager. Thank you all for listening. And listen, let me know other topics. Give me some hearts. Give me some thumbs up. Give me some likes. Let me know if this has an impact to you or not. I want to thank